So greetings, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank Mr. Dushan for organizing this fruitful event related to cultural heritage and the support of all organizations, including RYCO, as well the go-to from Shkoder. I'm here to talk about activism and how activism is serving to the connection between the past and the present and how it is forming our future. I'm doing the relation with an archaeological site situated still in Durrës. We are still there. And I'm here as a representative of Amphora Center, which I'm going to present right now. Amphora Center is an NGO like Bauo. It is all the same size. It's not that large, but the spirit is large. So it was founded in 2017 and it is headquartered in Durrës. And it is focused on the issues of archaeology and cultural heritage of Albania. And we also publish an independent media, which is amphora.al, which you can find online. And we try to convey 100% authentic material, which is original and not copied from somewhere else and published on our media. The in-depth reporting of Amphora Media is focused on the abuse of power, corruption, related to cultural institutions, transparency, freedom of speech as well, which is a very hot topic in Albania, organized crime and money laundering, immigration, and also elections and local government in Albania. And reporting on these topics, of course, is carried out by focusing on the areas which are related to cultural heritage, and we try to bring that connection between cultural heritage and these issues. And of course, abuse and corruption are exposed with evidence. So we never publish without proving what we are going to publish. So the activity of Amphora has extended in the last years. In 2020, we created the Amphora Media Group, which is also accompanied with the creation of the Amphora production. And since then, Amphora has produced episodes of documentaries, for example, Culture in 1 Minute, which has become very popular, in fact, podcasts such as The Voice of Culture, and all these are accessible on the available platforms on YouTube and also podcast platforms. And through investigative work, we aim to preserve cultural heritage, of course, as part of national identity and universal values that connect people. Amphora covers 7 Albanian regions. Apart from Durrës, we include also the Albanian capital Tirana, Shkoder, Korç, Berat, Gjirokastër, which are also UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Till now, we have 26 documentaries of Culture in 1 Minute and podcast series of 21 podcast series. And now I'd like you to show only 1 minute documentary on YouTube. So these are the types of documentaries which you can find in a playlist on the official YouTube channel of Amphora. Now I'm proceeding with some pictures of the activities that Amphora holds at schools, for example. As you can see, presentations, but also workshops in museums in Albania and reports in archaeological sites in Durrës, and not only. We have also pictures from the production sites. As you can see, there is only a small team that works to produce these materials, which we regularly update and upload online. Here we have our website, amphora.al, which you can visit also in an English version. And now I'm going to concentrate on the case of the archaeological site of Muret, Portës, which in fact might be very interesting, but at the same time very alarming for archaeologists. And I would say it is an unprecedented situation, not only in Albania, but also in the entire Balkans. And I'm going to explain why it is like that. And only a few words about the monument. It is called Muret, Portës, for who understands Albanian, and literally translated to English in gate walls. It is located in Porto Romano, which is a zone in Durrës, 7 kilometers to the north of Durrës. And this site is a fortifying wall that fortified a land strip between the marsh and the sea in the zone of Porto Romano. about 7 kilometers to the north of the city of Portës. And it is estimated to have been built under the reign of the Byzantine Emperor Anastasius III, of which you heard on the previous video. And today, as you can see from the pictures, about 60 meters of linear wall remain. And these walls have protection status since 1948. It is a national monument since it possesses the cultural monument status. And of course, the Ministry of Culture has issued also a protection zone on June 2016. In the first picture up there, you can see the remainings of the site as of 2022, highlighted on red. And on the second picture, you can see parts of the monument, which in fact date to 2017. And unfortunately, these do not exist anymore as they were destroyed between 2021 and 2022. Now, I'm going to explain how this monument was destroyed and why it is today endangered, in fact. In 2015, the Albanian parliament approved the concession given to an MBM port company for the construction of a hydrocarbon port in the zone of Porto Romano, where the monument is located. And 5 years later, the parliament approved also the extension of this concession for another 35-year period, which allowed the company to fully control the zone. And in fact, this extension was vetoed by the president of the Republic of that time, which in fact was a step that did not halt the construction, but was a strong voice against the construction of the hydrocarbon port. And according to that veto decree, the president argued that the hydrocarbon port did not respect competition. And that's why it was decided to veto, even though the Albanian parliament then overturned the decision and the construction continued. According to the initial project, the site would not be touched or affected by the construction. But since the company decided to transfer the status of the port to a commercial one, and the construction of a breakwater, this decision brought the flattening of 78 meters of the remaining wall. In fact, the company violated all regulations, did not implement the procedures for archaeological monitoring, even though the Ministry of Culture requested that. Of course, prosecuting institutions such as the prosecutor's office have not functioned because even though they have started an investigation on September 2020, it's been more than 3.5 years now, and we have no results from the investigation. And the crime and the penal act is visible, and it does not need any further investigation to understand who is the perpetrator of this crime. We are talking about the MBM Port Company. It is part of Castrati Group, one of the companies that controls the oligopoly of petroleum in Albania, and of course is one of the favorite companies of the Albanian government when it comes to giving permissions to tenders and such large multi-million projects. But that's another question, and of course we enter other issues. And this company has not undertaken the responsibility for the destruction of the monument yet, but obviously it has violated the law on cultural heritage and monuments and museums, by destroying the monument and also violating the protected zone. On the picture up there, you can see the zone, which in fact is a landscape totally changed and transformed by the company. Last year, the residents of the Porto Romano zone gathered in a protest against the company because, according to them, the company had caused extensive pollution by destroying. There was a hill, in fact, but it completely destroyed, and all the remainings of the hill were deposed not according to the rules, and also caused that pollution that caused the reaction of the residents of Porto Romano. And in the second picture, you can see the hydrocarbon port. On the left, you can see only a part of the remaining of the monument, which in fact I'm going to demonstrate in larger pictures right now. As you can see, in gray, you have the remaining wall, which is about 60 to 62 meters. On fluorescent red, you have the area where the ancient wall was destroyed. There used to be these parts, which today do not exist anymore. And it is obvious that the situation around the monument is very alarming. You can see that the ground is concreted, which according to law is completely prohibited. You can see machines, construction tubes, and only a few meters from there is the sea. So we are in a situation where law is strongly violated. As you can see, it is unacceptable for such monument to be in such condition. We are talking about a 16th century monument, and that's why it is highly endangered. And of course, it remains unknown the way how the company destroyed the monument. We estimate that it might have been destroyed either with dynamite or with machineries. But given the fact that it is very strong and it has resisted such long times, including conflicts of the Ottoman Empire, world wars, it is very possible that the company might have used dynamite to flatten the monument. And the situation is obvious. We have from 140 meters that remained from the old fortification. Today, we have only 62 meters. So more than half of the monument is irreversibly flattened. Here are some excavator signs visible on the monument, and this picture dates back to August 2020. This was before the monument was completely flattened. And it seems that it was an obstacle for the company to fulfill its target to construct the hydrocarbon port, even though it was possible to deviate the construction and to find alternative ways to construct the hydrocarbon port. They found it very easy to flatten it. And of course, we had a campaign to save the monument. Such developments could not pass without the engagement of civil society, and the Amphora Center proposed the nomination of the monument on the program 7 Most Endangered by Europa Nostra. Some of you might be familiar who knows Europa Nostra.
Last year for Stefan Island.
Okay, in Albania, the last monument before Muret Portës was the Zogu Bridge in Mat. And Europa Nostra, fortunately, decided to include the archaeological site in the list of 11 most endangered for 2024. Also reaffirming the concerns of activists, specialists of cultural heritage sector for the endangerment of the monument. And already the cause had joined specialists to save the monument. And since the nomination, we have had a large media coverage. We have had more than 30 articles published within a week on online media, 4 TV coverage, including one in Top Channel, who knows it's one of the largest media outlets in Albania, and also reactions from Albanian MPs, members of parliament, who were, in fact, some of them who were interested in reacting for the issue. And of course, we had partners such as the Independent Cultural Scene, Go to Albania, and our contact center, which are organizations related to the sector, some with urbanization, some with culture or architecture. Of course, we have our legal partner, which is the Albanian Helsinki Committee, who have approved to follow the case in the legal framework. So they are going to contact all the institutions who were responsible for preserving the monument, and they did not do that. And of course, we have also submitted a heritage alert on the International Council on Monuments and Sites, ICOMOS, in Paris, who have agreed to review the alert, and we are still waiting and pending the confirmation from them on the situation of the monument. We have also drawn some steps to reinstate, let's say, the safety for the monument. First of all, the Ministry of Economy, Culture and Innovation, which is responsible for the monument, must draw a management plan, which must be consistent. Then we should install the perimeter of security, then the installation of all signage and information, which would make the monument accessible to all tourists who would be interested, or maybe archaeologists who would like to visit the monument. And also, as I said, guarded and open passageway for visitors. And at the end, a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Culture and the concessionaire company to respect the law and not further deteriorate the situation. And what are the aims, in fact, of the campaign? The aims of the campaign are to contribute not only to the appeal of the endangerment of the monument, but also to create bridges between the past and the present, because this monument is one of the best examples to serve to this, and also to raise awareness among citizens of the zone who in fact are very attached to this monument because they live there and they have it only a few meters from their houses. And why not raise the issue in wider levels, the same way that Europa Nostra helped us in improving the awareness in an international level. Of course, we are going to continue to update on the campaign. The campaign will not stop until we find solution to this issue. You can check the social media of Amphora on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or if you are interested to know more about the case or become a partner on this campaign, you are quite welcome. You can just contact us on our email or also social media, and we will be very happy to and glad to respond to all your questions. So this was my entire presentation. I remain open to questions, to inquiries,